This is chapter number 1, the rise of nationalism in Europe. So we are discussing about the rise of nationalism in Europe. What is nationalism? It is called as Rashtravad. That is a kind of patriotism or the love for the region. Here is a picture which we are going to talk about a lot. So we need to understand this picture. This is prepared by Frederick Sario in 1848. Now the picture is showing a statue, a women's statue, that is for freedom or liberty, and there are people in line with different country flags, and here we have Jesus Christ and others. They are having a look on what is going on, and they are shedding their blessings. So in 1848, as we just suggested, that Sario, he was a French artist. He prepared a series of four prints visuals, and that was his dream for democratic and social republics. This is the first picture, and this shows people of Europe and America, men and women of all ages and all the social classes. They are marching in long train, and they are offering homage to the Statue of Liberty as they are passing by. So while the French Revolution was taking place, female figure was the key for liberty. It was personified as a female figure, and as you see that on the earth here, on the foreground, here you can see the shattered remains of symbols of absolutist. This absolutist or nirankush, they literally means a government or system of rule that has no restraints on the power being exercised. Means there is no real role of people. So in history, the term refers to a form of monarchical government that was just centralized. It used military power, and it was often repressive. Sario has a utopian vision. That is, the people of the world, they are just grouped as distinct nations identified through their flags and what they wear, that is the national costume. And if you see, the leaders here are United States and Switzerland. Why? Because these states have already became nation states. Though we see the French people as bearing the revolutionary tricolor, but the Germany, it is followed by a black, red and golden flag. But this Germany, when this image was created, German peoples did not yet exist as a united nation. This is the idea, or this is just for the expression of liberal hopes in 1848 in order to unify all the German speaking principalities under one nation, under democratic constitution. And then we have people from Australia in this picture, Kingdom of Two Sicilies, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary, Russia. And as I just told you, from heavens, Christ, saints, angels also, they gaze upon the scene. So this is the articism of Sario, symbolizing the fraternity among the nations of the world, that is Bhaichara. So what we are going to see here is, in this discussion, during the 19th century, nationalism, this content or context emerged as a force in order to bring the sweeping change in all the political and mental world of Europe. So it changed the world. It changed the European people, European thinking and the political regime. And then the end result of these changes was the emergence of nation state, that is, in the place of multinational dynastic empires which ruled for years, and the concept and practices of modern state. That is, the power is with people. That is, according to this image, a modern state in which a centralized power exercised sovereign control over a clearly defined boundary or a territory, and this had been developing over a long period of time in Europe. And the nation state was one in which the citizens are important, not only its ruler, but all will have the shared history of descent. So the commonness, that is the oneness, did not exist for time immemorial. It has come from all the struggles, various actions of people and leaders. So we'll see about the diverse processes or actions or events through which these national states and nationalism came into being in 19th century Europe. For that, we have to go back to our French Revolution history. So the French Revolution and the idea of nation, as we saw, the first clear expression of this nationalism, it came when? In French Revolution in 1789. So because the French in 1789, it was under the rule of absolute monarch. Then under the wake of French Revolution, the transfer of sovereignty from monarchy to the citizen took place. And then it shaped the nation, or you can say the destiny of the nation. So from very beginning, these revolutionaries of France, that is French revolutionary, they introduced certain measures and practices that could create a sense of collective or combined identity among these people, French people. For example, the ideas of la patrie, that is the fatherland, and the les citoyens, that is the citizen. That is, all are together, they are united community, and they have equal right. If we extend this, a national French flag, tricolor, it was chosen, and the Estate General was changed to National Assembly, and new hymns were composed, oaths were taken, martyrs were commemorated, all in the name of the nation, that is nationalism. And also a centralized administrative system was now in a place, and it formulated uniform laws for the citizen. Internal custom duties and the dues were just abolished, and the weights and measures now have a uniform system. The regional dialects, they were discouraged, because French, so this should become the language of the nation. And they also said, these revolutionary, this is a very important part, the revolutionary said, or they declared, that there is a mission, and they want to change the life of European people also. That is, they will help them to become a separate or away from these monarchs and will become a nation. So they will help them. So this news, as it just passed by, went through. So the students and other elite members, educated members, they started setting up the Jacobean clubs, and the activities and campaigns, they gave way, they prepared the way for the French armies. And the French armies did what? It moved to Holland, Belgium, Switzerland, and much of Italy in 1790s. And this was the Revolutionary War. The French armies tried to carry out the idea of nationalism to different parts of regions near it. These are the countries which are near it. So I'll show you a picture which we will revisit again, and this is the Europe after the Congress of Vienna 1815. We'll talk about this in a short while, because we'll talk about what happened here. So this, with the growing control, you can say, Napoleon Bonaparte, he brought various reforms, because he has already introduced it in France. And through a return to monarchy, Napoleon had no doubt destroyed democracy in France, but in administrative field, he had incorporated certain revolutionary principles. to make the whole system more rational and efficient. That is the Civil Code of 1804, which is called as Napoleonic Code. It just took away the privileges based on birth. It established equality before the law, and the right to property is also secured. And the code was exported to the regions under French control. In Dutch Republic, Switzerland, Italy, and Germany, he also simplified the administrative divisions. He just abolished the feudal system and also freed the peasants from the all the dues, etc. Towns also, the guild restrictions on the working people were removed, and the transportation and communication system, they were also improved. So peasants, artisans, workers, and new businessmen, they found it very appealing, and it was good for them. Now they can exchange the goods from one region to another and they can gain some profit. So these are the picture. What it shows is not everyone welcome this invasion, you can say. So initially, many places like Holland, Switzerland, and cities like Brussels, Mainz, Milan, and Warsaw, the French armies were actually welcomed. They were welcome. But soon it turned into hostility, because the new administrative arrangements which the Napoleon has brought in did not go in hand with political freedom. There was increase or increment in the taxation, censorship, forced conscription in the French armies, required to conquer the rest of Europe. So there were more disadvantages than the advantages as people see it. So this picture shows it all. This is a painting of Tree of Liberty in Zweibrücken. You can just, it's a difficult word, so I'm just Zweibrücken. This is a place in Germany. And here, if you see, the painter wanted to tell that the French came and they're doing what? They're seizing a peasant cart. Women are being harassed. A peasant is forced down to his knees. So the thing were not very good, because the revolutionaries came with the idea that they will spread their idea, but they were doing something else. And if you see here, this is the courier of Rhineland loses all he has on his way home to Leipzig. Napoleon, he lost he lost in Leipzig, and he's returning back. So all these papers you see, these letters which are dropping out, these bear the name of all the territories he lost. So we'll keep on discussing this chapter, and by far we have understood that how French idea of revolutionizing or spreading different revolutionary terms to free the other nations went inside other countries, and how they took it. Thank you so much.